Hi guys, and welcome back to BBnBB Yoga. I'm Sabi, and today we got a short and mellow flow. So let's get started in child's pose today. Sink the hips back towards your heels. If you want to use a blanket underneath your knees for extra support, please feel free to do so. And then just reach the arms out long, getting a nice stretch through the sides of your body. Taking a moment here to arrive in your space. Tuning into the body, tuning into the breath, deepening the inhalations and exhalations. Noticing any sensations in the body today. And then maybe setting an intention for today's practice. Maybe you want to offer it to someone you love. Someone that makes you smile. Someone that makes you stronger. Let's take another full breath here. So deep inhale through the nose all the way to the top. And exhale, let it all go. Lovely. Now firmly press into your hands, lift the gaze, and then we shift and weight all the way forward. As we come forward, bring your knees slightly apart, drop the hips, lengthen through the spine, open the heart, drawing the elbows towards each other, drawing your hands back so you can get a nice stretch through the spine, sending the heart forward, and then reversing this movement. So leading with the bum, lengthening through the spine as we come back into our child's pose. Send the hips back, lengthening through the sides of the body. And then we're going to come forward again. So rounding through the spine, really pressing the ground away, dropping the hips and lengthening, opening the heart. And then sending it back into child's pose. Let's do this once again. So as you come forward, really round through the spine, press the ground away, drop the hips and lengthen. Elbows draw towards each other, opening through the heart, and then sending it back into child's pose. Lovely. Next inhale brings you forward into a tabletop. Toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels best to you. And then we're just gonna warm up our wrists. So start drawing little circles, stretching into the wrists. Take any movement here that feels good to you. Maybe you want to bring some movement into the spine as well. Whatever you need right here, right now. Maybe you're reversing circles, so going into the other direction. And then finding some stillness in your tabletop when you're ready. And we're going to come and sit on our knees. So bring your right hand behind you. And give yourself a nice stretch through the left side as you reach the left arm across your ear. Maybe gaze towards the ground. So bring your chin to your right collarbone. And coming back to center, bringing the left hand down behind you, reaching the right arm across your ear. Chin to left collarbone. Getting a nice stretch here. And coming back to center. Interlacing the fingers. Reach your arms forward and up.
Hugging the belly and the chest in, opening through the heart, gaze comes up. And as you exhale, push the arms forward, round through the spine. Inhale, we lengthen arms towards the sky. Hug the belly and the ribs in, opening through the heart. And as you exhale, hands draw away from the body, rounding through the spine, getting a nice stretch here. And once again, inhale to lengthen. And exhale to round. Lovely. Come all the way up, releasing the hands and bringing the right hand back behind you again. This time we're going to lift the hips, so reach the left arm across. As you lift the hips up, getting a nice, even deeper stretch here. And lowering down, coming to the other side. So left hand down, right arm reaches across as you lift the hips. Lowering down one more time on each side. So right hand down, left arm reaches across. Push the hips away, really lengthen through the hip flexors. And lowering down, moving on to the left side. Reach the right arm across, sending the hips forward. And lowering the hips down. And come all the way forward into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here, pedal out the feet. Any movement that feels good to you. Maybe you want to sway the hips, shake the hand. Pressing down through your hands and your feet. Spreading the weight evenly. Fingers are spread widely, hips lift up towards the sky. Hug your belly and your ribs in. Externally rotating through the shoulders. When you're ready, find some stillness in your dog. And as we inhale, we come high onto the balls of our feet, bend the knees, gaze between the hands. And we tiptoe all the way forward between our hands. Find a nice ragdoll here. So maybe you want to grab opposite elbows, maybe you want to bring your hands behind your knees or behind your back, releasing any tension in the lower back, shifting the weight into the balls of your feet. Just let the upper body be heavy here. Take a moment. Maybe sway from side to side if that feels good to you. And then as you exhale, release your fingertips towards the ground, slight bend on the knees. We roll ourselves all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And as we come up, we roll our shoulders up, back and down. Lovely. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale. Lovely. Next inhale, sweep the arms high towards the sky. As we exhale, hinging from the hips, we fold forward. Inhale to a flat back, long spine, gaze comes up. And then we plant the hands and step it back into our plank. Hold our plank, hollowing through the front body. Crown of the head reaches forward as the heels draw back, engaging through the inner thighs. Drawing the hands outwards, so we're wrapping our triceps. And then we're lowering the knees, lowering the chest, lowering the chin, tucking the pelvis, and come forward into a cobra. Elbows draw towards each other, hands draw back, so we're lengthening through the heart, pushing the heart forward, and then tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Lovely yogis. Inhale, right leg floats high towards the sky. Exhale, right knee to nose. Step your right foot between your hands. Lower the left knee down and come up into your low lunge. Engaging through the glutes, drawing your left knee and your right foot towards each other, squaring off through the hips, arms reach high. Take a full breath here. And then as we inhale, we shift slightly forward, getting a slight back bend here, dipping into a hip. Keep engaging through the glutes, so you're not pinching through the lower back. Getting a deeper stretch into our left hip flexor. And then we're going to come into a half split variation. So sending the hips back as we exhale, sweeping the arms back, straightening through the right leg. Only go as low as feels good to you. Really pulling that right heel in, right toes towards the ceiling. And then we're going to come forward into our low lunge. Dipping into the hip, finding a back bend once again. And then moving back into our half splits. So straightening the right leg, hovering the upper body forward, pulling that right heel in. And then we're going to come forward once again. Dipping into the hip, engaging through the glutes, finding a back bend. And then come all the way up, finding your low lunge again. Bring your left hand down to the ground. Lift your left knee off the ground. Right arm reaches high towards the sky. Full breath here in a simple twist. Squaring up through the hips. And then we turn to the left. Find Skandasana at the top of our mat. So bending into the right knee, left toes, left knee point towards the ceiling. We're opening through the hip here, finding length through the spine. You can use your hands for balance as much as you need. Maybe you want to bring the hands to your heart. Maybe bring the right hand down, opening up through the left shoulder, left arm reaches towards the sky. I'm gonna come into our runner's lunge to the top of our mat, pressing down into our feet. Come all the way up, drop the back heel, we reverse a warrior, and then windmilling your hands all the way down, stepping it back, high to low, purely optional vinyasa. Either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, we lengthen. Up dog or cobra, and exhale, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful yogis, take a moment to connect to your breath, connect to your intention, and on your next inhale, float the left leg high towards the sky. Exhale, left knee to nose. Step the left foot between your hands and lower your right knee down towards the ground. Take an inhale, finding our low lunge, engaging through the glutes, reaching high through the crown of our head, arms reach towards the sky, getting a stretch through the right hip flexor here. Take a full breath here. Next inhale, we dip into our hips, get an even deeper stretch through the hip flexor, really engaging the glutes here so we don't get any pinch in the lower back. Finding a slight back bend, and then we're going to come into a half split, so lengthening through the left leg, sending the hips back towards the right heel, hovering the upper body forward, arms sweep back, really pulling that left heel in. Nice stretch through the back of your left leg, coming all the way forward, finding length, dipping into the hip, engaging through the glutes, find a back bend, and then once again straightening the left leg, sending the hips back, hovering the upper body forward. Then we're going to come into a low lunge once again, dipping into the hip, finding a back bend, and come back to center into your low lunge. Lovely, yogis. Right hand comes down, lift the right knee, left arm reaches towards the sky, squaring off through the hips, opening through the left shoulder. Simple twist. Gonna come into Skandasana, so turning to the right this time. Bending the left knee, right toes, right knee towards the sky, lengthening through the spine. Hands either on the floor, maybe hands to your heart. Find your balance. Or bring your left hand down and open up through the right side. Whatever feels good to you here. And I'm going to come into runner's lunge to the top of our mats, turning to the left, squaring off through the hips, and then reversed warrior from here. So grounding down into our feet, dropping the back heel all the way up, getting a nice side stretch through the left side of our body. And windmilling the hands all the way down, stepping it back, purely optional vinyasa, high to low. Inhale to lengthen, up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely, yogis. Lower your knees, sink your hips back. Find child's pose. Reconnect to your breath, slow it down. Come back to your intention. And then feel free to stay in your child's pose for as long as you need, for as long as feels good to you. And I hope to see you again soon.